Hi guys, happy new year. It is 2025 and with a new year brings new reads, new book goals, and I'm so excited to do my January TBR today. I brought the TBR jar back out and I'm just so excited to pick some new books. It's currently January 3rd. So I'm a little bit behind, but I've already currently read 3 books already, so a book for each day. I don't think I'm going to stick with that, just being realistic. But I am on vacation this week, so I do have a little bit of downtime where I'll probably be able to get quite a few books read. So maybe I will be able, this will probably be one of my most read months because I'm doing so well so far. I also wanted to update you guys on my book reading goal I'm on Goodreads and Fable now. I just recently got into Fable and I'm loving it. So if you guys are on Fable, follow me there. I'll have it linked down below. But I set my book goal last year I set it at 130. And this year I'm setting it at 158. It is a lofty goal, don't get me wrong. And I don't want to pressure myself too much, but I just feel like I know that I like to push myself to read more, and I feel like 130 wasn't really that. I feel like I was constantly ahead of my goal, and I still felt like I wasn't reading that much. I listened to a lot of audiobooks, and I did read a lot, obviously, because I read 138. I surpassed my goal. But I just feel like if I can read more than my goal, then I need to up my goal. So that's the plan. Not to put too much pressure if I don't hit my goal, or if I feel like lowering my goal at some point during the year, if I'm prioritizing different things, fine. But so far I'm happy with it. And 158 is random, but I'm very random. I like random numbers and stuff like that. So 158 called to me. That's what it is. So I think I'm only going to pick 5 prompts because I kind of just want to do some mood reading this month as well. Is a book you have to read in public. Ooh, this is really fun. I'm actually really excited about this. I'm going on a trip this week while I'm on vacation, so I might do one that I can read on the train. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick yet. I'm going to pick them after, and then I will show you guys what I picked for the prompts. Just because I have multiple bookshelves around my house, so I can't really they're not all accessible. I have too many to just have a cart. A book you would never read. Obviously, anything on my shelf I would read, but something that's I've not been wanting to read, or something that's not usually a genre or a book that I would typically want to read. So that's what this one's going to be. It's probably going to be nonfiction and sci-fi, something like that. Then this one's calling to me. An author you haven't read before. Ooh, this is fun. I don't know what authors I have out on my shelves that I haven't read yet, but I'm excited to see. Honestly, probably a lot, because there's new authors and stuff. And there actually is one book that I think I may know for that one. Anyway, let's do 2 more. A book you bought for the cover. I definitely have a few of those. Don't even get me started. So that will be an easy one, I feel like, to find. And then a book recommended by family/friend. Interesting. I feel like I'm usually the one recommending books to people, so we'll see if I can find one. I'm sure I can. All right, so I have all my picks. The first one we have is a book recommended by a family or friend, and I picked Lucy Undying, a Dracula novel by Kirsten White. This book I actually purchased, and it kind of ties in with the bought for the cover, because I definitely bought this for the cover. But this is a Dracula retelling. A vampire escapes the thrall of Dracula and embarks on her own search for self-discovery and true love in this epic and seductive gothic fantasy. I don't know too much about really any of the books that I have here, but I'm definitely interested in reading this one. But I bought this book, and then I let my mom borrow it because she was really interested in reading it, and she loved it, and she's been telling me that I need to read it now. So I'm really excited to get into this one. Obviously, I was already kind of planning on reading it, but a book you would never read. And for this one, I chose Return to Us by Corinne Michaels. I was going to go a sci-fi nonfic route, but I decided to choose this one because I just never buy books that have a cover like this or this kind of vibe. was like in love with this guy, and then she gets into a car accident and she ends up going back to the town that kind of like sets her back. So she goes back to her hometown. She meets him again and he's a single dad, and it's just a book that I would never typically pick up, but it kind of interested me. So I'm excited to read this one and interested to see if it's a book that I would typically read or not, you know? If you haven't read before, and I chose Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. This is a Fire and Metal series book. One, I've been hearing a ton about this book. I think it just recently came out, and I want to say it's like set on a ship or something. They're like people living at sea. I've just heard that a bunch of people have read this and they're like enthralled with it. It's a fantasy. I think it has a little bit of romantasy probably, and it looks really interesting to me. This was actually a Christmas present from my husband, and I just really want to read it as quickly as possible because I don't want it to just sit on my shelf for months or years without me reading it. So I'm excited I got this one. I have a book you bought for the cover, and I'm gonna say I definitely bought this for the cover. It's The Painter's Daughters by Emily Howes. This one, I'm not too sure what it's about. It says it's a story of love and madness about the two beloved daughters of renowned painter Thomas Gainsborough, who struggle to live up to the perfect image of the world so admired in their portraits. And it just looks very interesting, the whole premise of it. I'm really excited to read this one. It's like historical fiction, and the cover is just stunning. Like, I'm sorry, I picked this up one day at Barnes & Noble, and I have just, every time that I look at it on my shelf, I'm like, I want to read that so bad, but I've just been putting it off for some reason, and I'm definitely excited to get into this one. Is a book you have to read in public, and I decided, I don't know why, but I decided to pick Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. This one's also been on my shelf for a little bit, and it just looks really interesting. This is kind of just like a contemporary fiction book. It looks really interesting. I'm excited to read this one. And then the other two books that I picked for the month are Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I've been rereading this series, and this is the next book that I need to read. So that's an obvious one. And then I also picked The Year of the Runaways by Sunjeev Sahota. This one I've had on my shelf for a while. It looks really interesting. It's about 3 men and one woman who go on a journey to India, and they like share this house, and it seems really interesting, and I'm definitely so excited to read that one. So I don't know, it's just been calling to me recently. Like, I just keep seeing it on my shelf. I'm like, I want to read that. So yeah, these are all kind of mood reads, but I'm excited that I have them, and I can't wait to read them. But I'm sure I will read more. I've already read 3 books. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe for right now. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you will subscribe to watch the rest of my videos for the year. And yeah, I'm so excited for all the books I'm going to read this year and to share them with you guys. So don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!